kids, it's me, Johnny Foxx. Here we are with another Fox Tales. I've got some tales to tell. Well, I haven't. I mean, I have. But more importantly, these guys have. I'll hand it straight over to them. Why don't you tell the kids at home a little bit more about who you are and what you do?
All right. Ready?
Yeah.
We are the Papa Shangos, and we are your friends. We are the Papa Shangos. You'll never be alone again. We want to be your friend. That's
fantastic. So, they are the Papa Shangos. We have
Oh, Shango.
Jimmy Bully Boy Shango.
Hey. Okay. So, let's get the boring shit out of the way up front. That all your fans, of course, they already know this. If you're watching this, you're already a massive fan. If you're a massive fan, you already know this, but there's always that first one. There's always somebody discovering you for the first time. So let's just get it out of the way up front. So how long have the Papas been Shangoing?
Well, there's several answers to that question, to be honest. The band started in the late 90s when Will and Des, who were cousins, went to see Oasis, and they kind of tumbled out of the venue in Manchester and said, we should be doing that. And they did, more or less. They had a garage band, it was 2 or 3 piece, and it was sort of Oasis crossed with the Cramps for about 10 years or so, on and off, depending when Des was off travelling. And then they decided to enter, on a whim, they decided to enter a battle of the bands in Bolton. And they've been doing sort of cover songs, Strokes, White Stripes, that kind of thing. And they had to do 30-minute set of originals. So they just wrote a 30-minute set of originals in about a week. We're still doing half those songs. And it went, they didn't win. But then they started recruiting other band members. And I moved to Bolton from Sheffield in 2014. And I was chatting to Will, who's the bassist, for a while. And then eventually I joined, I think it was late 2014. So I've been in just over 10 years now.
And I've just coming up to my 1-year Shango anniversary, I think. February, March last year, Shangoversary,
Happy Shango to you.
So, yeah, I've been in the band for just under a year.
So what's that like, coming into something relatively well established like that? And you know,
it's been great actually, because it's the first band that I've been in playing guitar. I've been in the bands in the past playing the drums years and years ago. But picked up the guitar a few years ago. It's been great to sort of come into something that's already up and running, and learn as well. So it's been really good. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it and looking forward to the year ahead because we've got loads planned. Right,
let's dive straight. Let's dive straight to that. So what have we got? What's 2025 got to offer? We got recordings, we got gigs. What have we got to look forward to?
We've just put this out.
Oh, that's pretty
backwards, isn't it? Papa Shango's Rocket to Bolton. It's just a 4-track EP. It's on Bandcamp. It's not on any other streaming sites, and we're selling CDs at gigs. Totally DIY. It's we've got what have we got? We've got 2 studio EPs, a live album, and a really grotty live album. And that's all we've already put out, plus some demos and stuff on Bandcamp and bits and pieces on Spotify.
And a Christmas single.
Oh, Christmas single. on Bandcamp, yeah. But we're trying to. The band's been in flux for so long. We've been through. Drummers are a particular curse. We get a drummer, and then we lose a drummer, and then we get a drummer, and we lose a drummer, and we sack a drummer, then we get another drummer, then we sack that drummer, another drummer. We lose a drummer. I mean, we've got previous drummers. drummers. Jesus, we've got a really good one now. Yeah, he's really keen. He's just up for it, which is fantastic. We've been gigging for a year with backing tracks. Again, we've done that. You and I, John, in the past.
It's not as bad as it sounds. I kind of quite got into it by all accounts. There's less of the free reign for any kind of jamming or anybody to go off on one and just run off and get lost in the crowd or some shit or drag out a bit late or anything. Yeah, there's none of that. But just having a guy who's always there, who never forgets a cymbal, never forgets a stand, a pedal. There's no begging, and they're on the one and fucking every time. There's pros and cons, and there's something to be said for that. That's kind of good.
You lose something, but you have reliability. It's just, but then it comes down to how good the sound tech is, how well they can mix it, whether they're comfortable with backing tracks. Anyway, yeah, we've made it work for a year. We got bookings off it. People loved it. But now this is, in fact, coming up this weekend, we're doing a 60th birthday in Colville in Leicester at Vic Bikers Pub. I think again you played there, didn't you? Come to the first festival? Yeah. So that place, it's a friend's 60th. He's holding it there. We've just got about 8 bands playing, and this is our debut with the new drummer. So we've been just rehearsing with him solidly for the last couple of months, and he's really looking forward to that. Looking forward to hitting the stage of a live drummer again. Just makes it.
Yeah, imagine. So let's. What's the other obvious one? The name. The name. Where did the name come from? What's the story behind the name? What is a Papa Shango?
Well, I mean, when I joined, it was the 3 words, the Papa Shangos, which was named after an American wrestler. I don't follow wrestling, so I had to be told what it was, and I had to go and look it up. The first thing I found, there's about 4 other bands with the same kind of name. So I joined in 2014, and within a month I said, well, can we change the name? And I got a resounding no to that. But then we started getting messages for the other Papa Shango. There's another act in the sort of based in sort of home counties.
Nemesis.
He's quite big in sort of festivals around there. He puts on a whole, almost like a cabaret act. Yeah. Started getting messages for his band, and he got a couple for us as well. So in the end, we decided to merge it into one word, the Papa Shangos. It's a small difference, but it makes some difference at least. It distinguishes us a bit. It's routinely misspelled. I mean, I think half the gig posters where a promoter spells it rather. It's wrong. There's too many P's or not enough S's or something. But.
Yeah, well, right then. So now I know because I have previous, and I feel much the same way. All those artist types, we all hate the labels and all of that. But instead, there's always somebody new. So if you're going to describe your sound, someone who's gonna go hit up all those socials, Bandcamp, all of that, and get ears full of the Papa Shangos. Not right now. After this. Wait till after this, kids. Wait. Looking at you. Wait. But it's something you definitely want to do.
Yeah.
And you'll thank me later. But before they do that, how would you describe what they're going to be in for?
How would you describe it, Jimbo, as someone coming in after a year?
I'd say sort of trashy raw mayhem. Punk rock mayhem's like the sort of strapline, but kind of raw, trashy rock. We spun quite a lot of different sort of genres and styles, don't we?
Yeah, I mean, on the new EP's there's glam on there. There's ska, punk, sort of agit punk kind of stuff. And a bit of oi almost on it as well. It's just a real mixture, and sort of some really fast bluesy or blues-esque rock as well.
Loads of audience participation.
Yeah, I mean, again, I've been in a band with Johnny before. He knows what I'm like for diving in the audience for no particular reason. And this year we've got what we've got coming up. I don't know if you know, there's a band called Kid Clumsy, based out of Colville, funny enough. And they're doing their annual Abuse Your Confusion tour from February. It runs February through March. It's more or less every weekend and a couple of weeknights as well. And we're supporting them on that with another band called Mad Badgers, and an absolutely unique act called Mr. Bad Axe. And if you know Bad Axe, then you know Bad Axe. And if you don't know Bad Axe, you probably don't want to know Bad Axe, because Bad Axe is new.
Okay. All right, fair enough. So what would be the... Okay, can answer this either personally, individually, or as regards to the Papa Shangos as a songwriting band. But what are some of your main influences?
I know Will and Des. I must say, actually, Des was the founding member with Will, and he sadly died about I think it was about 3 years ago now. It was actually, we had a rehearsal. Will was going to bring Des. Will didn't turn up. Rang him, and eventually it turned out he'd found Des's body in his house. It was a very, very sad time. But the two of them, they were very, very kind of Strokes, Oasis, White Stripes, sort of bluesy rock, but with a bit of a punky edge to it. And when I joined the band in 2014, they'd recruited a new drummer and a new guitarist, and the new guitarist was very much into classic rock. The drummer just liked playing really fast and doing really long rolls, and I just liked screaming and running around. And the sound kind of evolved into, it got gradually faster and faster and harder, and definitely edged into punk territory after a year. And we've never really straightened out of that since. And I've forgotten what the question was now. I'm sorry. Influences, that was it.
Influences, either on songwriting or, or musically, whatever.
Well, in terms of songwriting, at the moment, I think I'm the only person still writing songs for the band. We've still got the legacy of Will's songs. He's got a couple bubbling away. I don't know whether Jimbo's got any in the pipeline.
I'd like to have a go, but not started yet. So,
yeah. But I'm very influenced by almost everything. Like I said, there's one here that it's a Slade song. It's like a Slade song, but it's my kind of fantasy history of the skinhead movement. I don't know how else to describe it. It popped in my head, and it sounded the way it sounded in my head, and we managed to get it down on an EP, still sounding that way, which was nice.
Very glammy.
Yeah, but I love oi, I love punk, I love ska. I love all kinds of music really. I particularly love heavy metal, but we haven't done that yet. I've got a song we've tried putting in this set a couple of times, which I wrote around the time that Lemmy died, called "Lemmy's Gonna Live Forever." Sort of half tongue in cheek and half because I was quite sad when he died.
Yeah.
And it sounds like a sort of pastiche of Motorhead, but we've never quite got it right, and it's never quite worked in the set. Might try again with the drummer.
Ah, fantastic. So, would you say, do the Papa Shangos, is there any kind of overarching message or anything to your song? Is it just pure fun, mayhem, or do you have something to say?
Yeah, we're like the Monkeys. We're the young generation. I'm not 60 yet. Another couple of years, and we definitely have something to say. This is the main thrust of the. Let me get it open now. It's got some new merch in, and one of our best sellers, merch-wise, is these.
Okay.
They sell really well. We can go to a gig. The merch box has got these in them, and sometimes we've sold out before we've even played.
You've got a glow-in-the-dark logo on the
Yeah,
bottom.
they haven't been put together yet, but yeah, when properly assembled, they have a glow-in-the-dark plectrum inserted in the base for safety reasons.
Nice things in life.
So basically, I think the ethos of the band is do butt stuff. It's for Jesus.
There you go, kids. Words to live by, right there. You can just go away now. You can tune out now. Now you're sorted. You're set for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Okay then. So what's okay? That's the band stuff. But maybe more personally, sticking with music. What's on your commuting to work playlists right now, just to listen to for yourselves?
Oh God. Can we go first?
Oh God, all sorts of stuff. What was I listening to the other day? I mean, I've been listening to the new Jack White album quite a lot actually this year. I know that's sort of very mainstream, but I really enjoyed that. Been listening to Queen Z.
I love Queen Z.
Yeah, and The Pill as well. Listened to a bit of that. Listening to the new Skunk Anansie single, which I never thought I'd say on the way here. So all sorts of stuff. My musical tastes are bizarrely diverse. I listen to anything really. But yeah, those things that come to mind over the last week or so.
I tend to get into a rut. I'll find an artist I like, and I'll just listen to everything by him that I like constantly until I can't listen to it anymore. Then I'll move on to the next.
Yeah.
And for probably the last 2.5 years, it's been this American artist called Royal and the Serpent, which the acronym is RATS, but Royal and the Serpent. And she had a hit about 10 years ago called Overwhelmed, which I never heard at the time. And I heard something, I think it was a Facebook reel or something. I heard half a song and I thought, God, that's amazing. So I went and looked at the rest of her stuff, and I've got a massive playlist, and I just play it constantly if I listen to anything. Over and over and over again. And it's a real mixture. It's everything from sort of singer-songwriter acoustic with a couple of sound effects to full-on grunge or sort of shouty electronica. It's just she just does almost every genre.
Wow.
And she's got a voice that I initially found really irritating. She sounds like she's holding her nose when she sings, and it's really grown on me now. I just love her voice. And if it's not her, it's usually there's a Manchester band called Witch Fever, or do you know Poppy? I Am Poppy.
Yeah.
And when all else fails, I usually default to Slipknot or something.
Yeah, well, sounds like I have some homework to do. Right. So, we've learned a little bit about the band. Let's learn a little bit about you two slightly more personally. I like to do a little thing. It's simple. It's just a little game. We're just going to play a little bit of this or that. There's no wrong answers, and there's sure shit no prizes. I've got no money for that. So we start with the incredibly boring, but only real place to start. Cats or dogs?
Dogs. Cats. We've got stick cats in the house at the moment.
Wow. If you've got cats, they can be hard to get a hold of sometimes, unless they want you to. But when you can, do you try and get a hold of them and keep checking their paws for thumbs? Because
one of us has definitely got thumbs.
Yeah, because if they do, we're fucked. People are worried about AI. I'm keeping an eye on the cats. I think cats get opposable digits, we're screwed. No. I will crawl on broken glass. I will bow to my feline masters straight away. I'll just capitulate. I'm done. It's not even a question. Okay, beer or wine?
Beer.
Probably wine, but I tend to drink spirits rather than either.
Okay, pizza or kebab?
Kebab.
Definitely kebab. Yeah,
it was
kebab.
Easy. I think the first kebab, let alone the first double kebab that anybody's ever said. Not many kebab fans when I've chosen people for this.
Well, there's an internal strife going on in the band because Will, founder member, as I mentioned, absolutely loves Hawaiian pizza. He loves pineapple on pizza, and it's an abomination. It's been made clear to him, and he keeps posting stuff about it on the page, and we have to.
What about the kebab pizza?
I've never tried one, but it sounds awful.
Okay. Country retreat or city living?
City living.
Oh, yeah, I think city living.
Yeah. See, because everybody wants to say country retreat, forgetting that everybody says country retreat. The country is now the city.
Yeah.
You know, but whatever. It's just a bit of fun. Okay. Skydiving or scuba diving?
Scuba diving, probably.
Yeah, I'd say scuba diving because I'm terrified of heights.
What else have we got here? Okay. Big parties or small gatherings?
Small. Could take either, really. Depends on what mood. Don't know. Depends who's there.
Yeah, it depends who's there.
You can have some horrendous small gatherings, can't you? But
I'm actually excused from going to family gatherings because I just bring everyone down because I don't like being there. So. And some of those are big, some of them are small, to be honest. So it depends who's there.
Would you rather have money or free time?
Free time.
Money. No, buy some free time.
Well, that's what I think, or at least in theory. Having never had any money, not any substantial amount to test the theory, but I'd like to try. If anybody wants to sponsor an episode, just hit me up. It's fine. We can work something out. Okay, polka dots or stripes?
Say stripes.
I don't know, polka dots. Haven't really got an opinion. Just to be different.
I don't. That's the question I tacked on at the end, just because for some reason in my head I want that many, and it's the question that gives people the most thinking time. They put a real effort into that, and I'm like, I've been asked vertical or horizontal stripes. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I wasn't thinking that. I wasn't thinking it that carefully when I put it on.
Actually, are they parallel? Can someone cross over? This is important.
Yeah. Okay. Would you rather be a vampire or a werewolf?
I think it depends on what kind of vampire and werewolf. If we're talking Twilight, I think I'll go for the werewolves.
Yeah, I think I'd rather be a werewolf, to be honest.
But I mean, usual vampire, I Yeah, probably be a vampire.
Yeah, I mean, I have to hold down and give some pride. I have to say there's nothing wrong with being a hairy mammal, right? Because everybody wants to be the sexy vampire because Hollywood's made them all fucking,
Actually,
they're the cool things to be.
I'm working on my all look, aren't I? I just realised.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, would you rather see a puppet show or a magic show?
Magic show.
Yeah, probably magic show. I guess. I
Magic.
don't know.
So, see, magic show. Do you want to see like the close-up misdirection, pick a card, any card, find the ball in the cup magic, or do you want to like see the Empire State Building disappear?
Quite like the sort of close-up magic that gets you engaged.
Yeah.
Because I think the close-up magic definitely.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
I think the big stuff can it can be too big. Like it's so unbelievable. Like that the close it's misdirection. It's very smart, very clever, very scientific. It's a real skill. It's not magic, but it's a real fucking skill.
Yeah.
But the illusions are exactly that, and I don't feel as engaged.
Yeah,
each to
there's
their own.
a tech going on.
They're usually fronted by some crazy narcissist as well, aren't they?
And when people like make a show of themselves, I'm like, that's outrageous.
Yeah. Who would do that? Okay, we'll do the potentially controversial ones. Star Trek or Star Wars?
Star Trek.
I
would say.
I
like both.
Yeah, I like both, but it depends which.
Yeah, no.
There's a lot to choose from now, isn't there, for both?
I loved Star Trek growing up as a kid. It just seemed amazing, and then I saw Star Wars in the cinemas in '77, and it blew my mind. I guess I couldn't choose between them, to be honest. Toss a coin.
Yeah, I mean, I get pulled up like they're two very different things. Like, I know it's just a bit of fun, like because they both got the same star and they're just two big sci-fi franchises. I know they're very different.
I think they've converged
one's all
recently.
Like politics and the meaning of life, and the other one's like, oh, he's got an hand off. I know that. I've seen them both. So I get they're very different. Much like Dragon Ball or Pokemon.
I've not really got a sort of grasp of either of them, to be honest.
I barely even know what they are. Probably, I mean, I'd never played either, but Pokemon had demons, and I remember American Evangelist getting upset about Pokemon demons being real demons. So, yeah, Pokemon. Just wins it.
Why not? It'll do. As I say, only a bit of fun. Okay, so let's do it. I've got some letters that fans have wrote in for you. If you want to take a few of these,
yeah, sure.
Just a few. This one, this is from Michaela. She's 13 from Bolton, and Michaela writes. She wants to know about Willie Shango. Unfortunately, not with us, but she wants to know how tall is Willie Shango, because she heard Daddy saying, "You like big willies, don't you?" And Mummy said, "Yes, yes, oh God, yes." So he might be Mum's favourite.
It's about that tall.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, about that. Give or take.
Yeah.
Well, I hope that answers your question, Michaela.
I think Jimbo's the tallest in the band, unless Alex is.
Yeah, I thought Will was the tallest actually, but maybe he's not.
I don't know.
Yeah, possibly.
And he's definitely the shortest.
Yeah,
it's about that tall.
Okay. Here's one from Bertram. I think it's Bertram. Sorry if I've butchered your name, Bertram. Bertram is 7, and he's from Stoke-on-Trent. And Bertram writes, "If there are the Papa Shangos, where are the Mama Shangos?"
There's probably a band called Mama Shangos. I mean, when I did my research before I joined the band, there's the Papa Shangos in the home counties, and it was a really good all-female riot girl band from Canada called the Papa Shangos, who split up in I think early 2000s. And I watched some of their videos and I thought, fucking, they're great. wish we were as good as them. they're the Mama Shangos.
Okay. Well, I hope that answers your question. We'll take one more. And Rebecca, it just says from the home counties. I don't know where they are. I'm at home in a county. Could be right next door. I don't know. I'm bad at geography. It's never my strong point. But Rebecca from the home county, she's 11, and she wants to know, if you had to drive all night, would you drive all night to make love to Cyndi Lauper? I see what she did there. That's quite clever for a 12-year-old. 11, sorry, Rebecca.
I don't know if you remember, but that's the same lyric from the song we did. Wait, if I had to drive all night, then I drive all night just to be there in the morning and tell you everything.
But if you had to drive all night, would you drive all night to make love to Cyndi Lauper?
No.
I mean, I'm engaged, so.
Yeah.
No, that answers that one. So, moving on. Okay. Kids, if you're just joining us, these are the Papa Shangos. I'm saying it quickly because it's one word, right? You'll learn
kids.
that. Look them up. Not right now. Not right. Stop it. Wait. This is too much fun. Wait till it's finished. Look them up. Line up their socials. Get on. Get some music in your ear holes. Find out where they're playing live next. You'll thank me later. Right. So back to. Let's not do music. Let's just move on a little bit from music. One of the mainstays, and we're watching this for my shit, would be like movies and TV. I'm an indoors kid. I haven't been out to many gigs too much lately, although 2025 is the year I'm changing all that. But movies. What's the last movie you watched that you'd recommend? Might not be a new movie, but the last one you watched that you'd actually recommend to someone.
I really like The Holdovers. That was, it's not the last movie I watched, but it's probably the best movie that I watched last year. It was awesome, really funny, really clever, sort of filmed in that 70s style.
Yeah.
All the colours are really beautiful. So that was a great film.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of sort of under the radar horrors that I would highly recommend. I mean, the last film I saw, I think, was Nosferatu, which I saw it in the cinema, and I thought it's very Robert Eggers, but perhaps not his best. Very good though. But there's a film called Oddity, which I think is Irish. And it's about. I won't tell you what it's about. It's well worth watching it. Oddity is only about a year or two old. There's another one called Clawfoot, which is about. Again, I don't want to say too much, but it's just a really good film. They're very different. Oddity. There's not many horror films that can actually make me jump. And I was watching Oddity on my phone on the cross trainer at the gym. I nearly fell off the cross trainer at one point. I actually yelped out loud and went, "Oh my God!" And I never do that. And it's a little screen as well.
Yeah.
Like, that's not me. I don't do that. And this film is gripping. And then Clawfoot is just funny and violent and just very, very, very entertaining. Yeah, definitely those two.
Much like attending the Papa Shangos gig, but just funny and violent and entertaining.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. All right. Okay. What would be? Let's fantasize for a moment, shall we? And let's see if it becomes real one day. What's a even if I would be ridiculous, by all means, let's have some fun. The Papa Shangos, playing like where? What would be just a super cool fucking dream thing to do? Like fucking Madison Square Garden, I don't know. Go nuts.
I don't think a big venue would suit us. It wouldn't suit me because we've played bigger venues and there's that separation from the audience. And my favourite venue is a crappy little pub with about 24 people who aren't really interested. And then halfway through the set, they can't take their eyes off you and they've all got their phones out. And because I'm among them, I'm not on the stage. The stage is barely there. The stage is like, one of my favourite gigs was a pub in Ashton under Lyne called The Station. And we played there. There was maybe 36 people. It's a tiny little place. Everyone was up on their feet. Everyone was dancing. And I went out and did my usual dancing with the crowd, came back in, and the crowd had just merged into the band. And the guitarists were trying to kick their pedals out of the way because people get stomping on them. and you couldn't tell the band from the crowd. And it wasn't a massive crowd; it was a tiny crowd in a tiny place, and it was perfect.
Yeah.
We played big venues. We've played places, or bigger venues like there's the Leopard in the same town, which is quite a bigger venue, and they get quite decent sized touring bands there. And we've played to 4 times as many people, but it feels empty, and they all stay way back because I'm running around, and they're like, they're kind of edging back with their pints. So you kind of running around this empty space. And we played places with a high stage where you have to jump down and get in the audience. Sometimes it works, but give me a shitty little place with a tiny crowd who are really into it. That's where I'm happiest.
Yeah.
I don't know. How about you, James?
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind playing a big place, but
we're one with the audience, aren't we? Really, in terms of the way our gigs work. So yeah, it definitely works best where it's small, intimate. You've got people there with you. And we'd love to play some more festivals, and so we've got a couple of festivals lined up this year. But it's definitely not got the vibe that it's got when we're in a small venue.
I was talking to someone about a festival in Morecambe, Morecambe Punk Fest. We've been trying to get on for ages. I was talking to one of the people who's involved with it, and he said, "Well, yeah, I'm sure we can probably. This isn't definite by any means." He said, "I'm sure we can, bend some arms and get you on. What day would you prefer? Sort of Saturday or Sunday or whichever day you asked me." And he said, "Oh, there's the pre-show, which is in a smaller place. If that's more convenient." I said, "No, stick us in the small pre-show rather than the big stage, because we'll just work better there."
Yeah. So what about then? Okay, what about getting a Papa Shango song, the song, not performing live? What about getting a song used somewhere, like in a particular director's movie or something like that?
I've written a song. I don't know if you remember. I absolutely hate football. I loathe it. I know nothing about it, but a song popped in my head a couple of years ago, and it was a song about football, and it's got a really catchy chorus. And I was wondering what to do with it, so I wrote the music, and then I was struggling with the lyric, and I was chatting to a mate at work, and he gave me some ideas, and I turned it into a song about. It's a ballad in the sense that it tells a story. The story is I'm sitting at home minding my own business, and I get a call from the manager of Bolton Wanderers, and he asked me to write a song for Bolton Wanderers, and he said he'd pay me 25 quid, but he needs it done by tomorrow. And the song, second verse is my writing process. The first chorus is. The second chorus is kind of me developing the song, and then it turns into the full chorus, and then the next verse is the manager saying that's great, it'll go down really well, and then it's middle 8, and it goes out on the chorus. And I'd love it to be adopted by Bolton Wanderers.
It's got a ukulele solo.
It's got a ukulele solo in it, and also we were talking about it the other night actually, because we were thinking of sticking it in the set, and we're wondering whether actually we broaden it from just Bolton Wanderers and make it about the World Cup and save it for next year, and try to start pushing it in the run-up to the World Cup and get it actually in people's ears as an earworm. They start singing it and playing it. It's called Stick the Ball, which is obviously double entendre about my feelings about football.
My football knowledge is incredibly limited, but I did share a train ride this weekend gone with a carriage or two of Bolton Wanderers fans.
All right.
Were very lovely and very loud and very singy-songy, which is great, which is fine. I'm all for that. But it did pique my curiosity, and I did have to ask around a few more knowledgeable football people that I know why they spent the better part of an hour that I shared with them singing Dancing Queen. Dancing Queen. I couldn't sort of make the connection. I was like, I know I'm not that up on football. I'm trying to think, what's Dancing Queen got to do with the offside rule? I couldn't fucking fathom it, but I've since found out there is no real connection except that most teams just have a theme song, and somehow, once upon a time, somebody picked that one for the Wanderers, and it stuck. It doesn't really mean anything.
Maybe that'll happen to us and stick the ball.
So, perhaps
that's the idea.
A much more on the nose, lyrically specific song it could be adopted, but they didn't seem to. Granted, it sounds. I don't imagine it to be a particularly long song, although you did mention at least sort of 4 four parts, four verses, four choruses.
About sort of 2.5, 3 minutes,
Yeah,
aren't they?
it's about
Short punk songs.
Yeah, they did seem to only be able to manage kind of like the chorus of Dancing Queen and never seem to start any earlier or get any further.
Yeah, I do.
On loop for like the better part of an hour, which did not get annoying at all.
No, of course not.
They were lovely. No, they were. There were no trouble or anything. They were just singing and getting ready for wherever they were going. It was great. So that's fun. Okay. What about? Have you ever seen a UFO?
No.
I've seen things I couldn't necessarily identify, so in that sense they're unidentified. But the classic idea of UFOs as being, alien spacecraft, I don't think I've seen anyone of those. I remember once being out years and years ago. I used to be in the Territorial Army, or out doing a night shoot, and it was in the middle of Salisbury or somewhere in Hampshire, and it was clear sky, jet black night, cold, but you could see every single star in the sky. You could see the Milky Way. You could see satellites going across. It was absolutely incredible, lovely. I think there's so much debris and things going on up there that I think UFOs are just that. They're strange lights no one really understands, that are refraction or Venus or the moon or military aircraft that no one recognises, or those Chinese
dark butt plug.
Yeah, glow in the dark butt plug, a Chinese lantern that someone's let fly.
Yeah,
there's loads of that kind of stuff. We've got a song that might go in the set called "They Knew Too Much About Flying Saucers," though.
Yeah.
Based on the famous book of the same name, and it's me ranting about conspiracy theorists, Alex Jones and that lot.
See, conspiracy theories are great, except that I have a firm belief that most of the more sort of mainstream conspiracy theories are started by the very person or the very official, or the conspiracy theorist likes to think they're rebelling against by telling us this conspiracy theory. And
I think Roswell,
it helps the people you're trying to bring down in some form or way more often than not.
There's some idea that Roswell was partly kind of stimulated to hide the fact they were testing secret military aircraft, and so people think it's flying saucers, and they can happily deny that till they're blue in the face. No one believes. No one thinks it's military aircraft. So I've heard. That's more credible.
And then it's a fantastic tourism trade and lots of cash for years to come afterwards. It's a great plan, very smart plan. What about ghosts? Ever seen a ghost, or felt a ghost, or heard a ghost, or rented a ghost? I'm really old.
Yeah.
That's one for the.
I was gutted to
find Timothy boys.
Timothy Claypole. I was gutted to find that Timothy Claypole's dead.
Yeah.
Believe that. Anyway, James is great. Talking about.
No, I don't think I've seen a ghost. I don't think so. No. I've lived a very unparanormal life.
Probably
I don't know.
The best.
It might just look like the rest of us, mightn't they? You don't know.
Yeah. Probably for the
not
best.
Knowingly.
I've had no experiences either, but the stories I've been told since I threw that question in over the last year doing this, there's either some very sensitive, susceptible people out there, or there's strange things afoot that we will maybe never understand in this world, and maybe we're not meant to. I don't know.
Well, maybe we're just pattern-seeking animals, and if we can't find a real pattern, we just create one for our. That's the way our brains work.
Could be. Could be. Speaking of how our brains work, I like this one. You've had deja vu, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we've all had a deja vu.
Yeah.
Have you ever had? And I ask for personal experience. I'm just curious if other people have experienced this. I have, not every day by no means. Maybe not even regular. I mean, the last time was a few years ago. But a deja vu where when it hits that moment that you kind of, when you click on, oh, deja vu, that rather than sort of like snap out of it, you kind of like a waking dream or a lucid dream kind of a thing. You kind of then start to go, oh, this is when that happens. Then it does. like after the deja vu of whatever, like the cat walks past, like as if the cat's never done that before. But but you know what I mean. You have the deja vu, and then you go, and then that red car pulled up, and here comes the red car.
Yeah, I think I have had that actually.
And it's just even freakier because you had a deja vu, and then you have like a double one, but it's more than just it happening twice close together. You sort of consciously knew that was. You can actually like, sort of called it to yourself instead of.
It's usually something
after
that
the
probably
fact, going, that's happened before.
Yeah.
Call it out to yourself. This is going to happen now, and then it does.
I feel like if that happened on an aeroplane or a stock car rally or on a bridge or driving down a motorway behind a lorry full of logs or in several other scenarios, I would get the fuck out of there.
Yeah. Because not the last time it happened, but the really big one that's always stuck with me, like just kind of curious. What the fuck is that? What happens up there? Because when it happens, like we live relatively monotonous lives. We do a lot of things by routine. It's just we're naturally creatures of habit, I think, and especially if, you get up for work at that time and you generally take the same route to work and shit like that, and you go shopping on the same day to the same shop. A lot of things are routine, but when it is definitely the first time you've ever been to this country, you're in an entirely new country for the first time, and then the deja vu hits just about some woman shouting at a kid, some Spanish woman who you've obviously never met before, shouting at a kid, and for some reason that feels like deja vu. And then I know that the taxi that pulls up is a red one, and it does. And I'm like, the fuck just happened? And I've definitely never done this before, never been here before. I mean, I've been at taxi ranks before, I've had shouting women before, but but not in Spain. But there's still, it's not a great reach. I've experienced similar things, so it could still just be. I don't know. But I don't know why the brain decided to just do that. Like I had better things to do, like find me case.
It could be. The thing is, you don't really. All you know is what you remember. I don't know how to articulate this properly. Your memory of the past is simply whatever your brain has preserved, and even that counts for the last microsecond. So the last thing I said a second ago, my memory of that is just whatever's in my memory now.
Yeah,
it's probably already wrong.
Yeah,
I think it's brain playing tricks. But then again, maybe you're stepping outside space and time and seeing the future. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe I'm a wizard, Harry.
Maybe you are.
Maybe I just look like one. But
just remind me of an anecdote. We had a song called when Harry and Meghan got married. I wrote a song called "You're a Wizard, Harry." No, "You're a Lizard, Harry." Sorry, and it's taken the mick out of the David Icke thing. And the story was it was about Harry finding out he was a lizard, as the name suggests. And the chorus was, you're a lizard, Harry. And we did it for about 2 years. And it was only towards the end when we stopped playing it and moved on to other songs that I found out that the rest of the band at that time had no idea it was a Harry Potter reference.
That's just even better.
Which blew my mind. I was like, what? They just thought it was a phrase I come up with.
Yeah, as you say, with memory, the thing is also eyesight. However bad your eyesight is still absolutely fucking amazing. So amazing that even your amazing big brain can't quite process all the information. Not in any useful way. So, a lot of what you see is not with your eyes, is with your brain. And a lot of what your brain does is like a police photo fit from memory. It takes a piece of something that's familiar and then it photo fits around it, which is why, like, when you guys, this is for you. When you don't notice the missus has had a haircut, right? This is why. This is science. You saw her elbow, then your brain, the last time you saw her, it was long. She'd not had the pixie cut yet. So you're still going to see these flowing locks. It's fucking science. It's not that you're not paying attention. It's not that you don't care. It's not that you're more interested in those cats playing ping pong that you're looking at on your phone, which is not a euphemism for anything. I really do like watching cats play ping pong. It's fantastic. It blows my mind. It's like ping pong, also a scientific term. It's not table tennis. It never will be. It's ping pong. I'm pretty sure that's probably the correct Chinese pronunciation for table tennis is ping pong. So it's ping pong.
The more you...
but yeah, that's science for you, kids. Science, educating and entertaining on this show. You know, you get none of that on your fucking Graham Norton and shit. I tell you, especially when Claudia Winkleman takes over, you'll not be. You get none of this. Right. Okay. So what's if you could? Let's ask a few just silly questions. Okay, you've got to live with one of these families. Who are you living with? Adam's family or the Munsters?
Adam's family, I would say.
I'll go for the Munsters. No, I like both of them, but no.
Yeah, I don't think people know what they're letting themselves in for. When everybody likes to pick the Adams family, are probably the more popular franchise. But maybe I'm taking this too seriously. But those fuckers are into a lot of like sadomasochistic torture shit, and will probably expect you to join in because to them it's fun, it's leisure time, and you really want to go for that? Whereas the Munsters, they're just your average, ordinary, all-American family, I think.
I believe that's the case.
You know, and probably maybe not as cool, but a lot less risk of death. Okay, what else can I throw at you? Did you want to throw anything at me? People tend to not ask me. You ask me something before we shuffle off.
How long have you been doing this for?
Exactly 1 year last the weekend.
Oh, right, okay.
My first episode was February the 11th.
Have you had on particularly interesting?
Anyone?
Who would you say has been among your most interesting guests?
Oh, it's like picking a favourite child, isn't it? I'm not allowed to, in case anybody actually watches any of these.
Well, I said a month. So you pick out a couple.
No, I have to mention my twin, my birthday twin. That is the fantastic Chinese American comedian Benice Ye. She's fucking amazing. Just a story from going up in China to moving to Seattle to having successful like startup companies, working for Microsoft, and so like leaving the whole regime thing behind to start a new life, then leaving that new life, a life that a lot of people would aspire to, a lot of money, a lot of high up, a lot of kudos, leaving that behind to go, I'm going to be a stand-up comedian, as you do. Because that's not like a really hard grind. I mean, you know, we both have experience in bands. You're trying to get gigs. It can be hard to get a gig, but not that hard if you really want to. When you get the gig, you've got the gig. And you've got a 30-minute set or whatever, and you're going to play the gig. The stand-up comedy grind is go to the club, ask nicely if you can be on. They'll think about it. You might get on, you might not. And if you do get on, you might get 5 minutes. You've got this whole hours worth of fucking spiel worked out. You've got to have this 5 minutes. Or imagine, you know, going to a gig, there's not as much gear to carry around as a stand-up comic, granted, but getting to the gig and then not even playing and traveling all the way home, you know, that's a fucking hard grind to get your name to the point where they always say yes. And then they start saying yes and giving you longer and longer. And, you know, till one day, maybe, you can headline in some shithole. You know, that's... so, yeah, I just thought she was incredibly inspiring. I thought it'd be great to get her on. And I thought I had a week off for my birthday. I thought with time differences and shit like that, that'd be perfect because I can work around whatever. I'll do it at 2 a.m. if needs be. You know, I'll just get it done and recorded and it's no problem. And then when she says, oh, I can't do that week. It's my birthday and I've got a lot of plans. Oh, when's your birthday? 14th of May. Mine is too. Twinsies! So we just had to do it, and she's been super wonderful, kept in touch ever since, and her career's just getting bigger and bigger, and I'm happy to ride those coattails.
Yeah, fantastic.
Thanks, Bernice. If you're watching, you're awesome. I love you to bits. So that was pretty cool. Like one of those you think ghost me, it's fine. You know, I can live with it. You know, maybe granted, some people on a more sort of local, amateur level, you kind of feel a bit like, come on, you know, you don't really need my help promoting the band or whatever, but like, it's not going to hurt. You're not above this either, you know, just come and have some fun. It's fun, if nothing else. And you just think, yeah, some people, you get a distinct vibe, like, if there was some money involved, or if my profile had like 30 billion fucking followers, then maybe you'd get back to me straight away, you know?
Yeah.
Some people, you get that vibe, and fuck them. I don't need them. It's all right. But some people, yeah, I've thought like, you know, you've got to be in it to win it. It doesn't hurt. I've got more outgoing than I've got incoming. That's normal. It was always like that, trying to book gigs and shit anyway. I'm used to it. And some people get back to you incredibly quickly, and some people are really well organized, and they're even throwing dates at me, and we're working it all out. And like, didn't even think you'd reply, let alone kind of work around my stupid schedule and things to make it happen. You know, so it's been pretty good. It's been pretty good, and it's just getting bigger.
Good stuff.
Bigger and better. Yeah. Onwards and upwards for me, to the point that I might. Well, all right, I am going to do this is live, but I may be doing something live, like stage live, like live audience live, in the not too distant future. But that's
yeah,
under behalf for now.
3 of us.
But yeah, that could be pretty cool. There'll be plenty of news on that right here, kids. When I've got something to say, I will fucking say it. I will not shut up about it. Kids, this is the Papa Shangos, or at least 2 of them.
Yeah. 3 missing, couldn't make it.
Punk, fun, raw, mayhem, rock and roll, blues, glam, jive, orchestral.
We do have some jive in the breakdown,
music,
don't we?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. We're always looking to diversify.
Sort of loungy, jivey element in one of the breakdowns. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a banjo and a harp and a kazoo. Not enough kazoo in punk rock, I think. It's be good for the kind of the ska punk elements. You know, fuck the whole horn section's a hassle. Just get a dude with a kazoo, or maybe even just a coat with a bit of paper.
I have really thought about that. There's a band in Manchester called Smoking Gives You Big Tits. And one of their best songs, I can't think which one it is now. I've seen them live loads of times. Well, maybe half a dozen times, but they are really good. They do a song that starts with a kazoo, and the main hook is the kazoo, and they work it in really well. Well worth looking at.
Brilliant.
Smoking Gives You got that great album out. They just stopped playing live. They're just going to do an album and then bow out altogether. They said they just started as a joke. Did really well, and it's like, oh, let's do something else now. So they stopped playing live.
Yeah, moving on.
Putting it out. Yeah. But they are superb. Highly recommend them.
So, circling back to actually talking about music and the Papa Shangos and writing songs and performing songs and stuff, especially as we have a shiny new member and a more tenured member to go at. How do you guys feel? As long as I'm kind of I get bored pretty quickly and I want to move on. The cliche of like, what's your favorite song you've ever written? The next one, you know. I'm that guy. And as people, if you've not been part of the creative process, if you're not been in a band, maybe some people don't quite realize, like, by the time you've wrote a bit of the song on the toilet and a bit of the song at work and a bit of the song on the train, and then cobbled a bit of it together, and then took it to the other guys, and you've jammed out shit at rehearsals and blah, and then you've made this song, and then you've rehearsed it and polished it and got it to now it's a song, and then maybe you perform it multiple times, then maybe there's some recording, then maybe by the time people might have heard this song's so fucking old. And you've heard it so many times. You have. The people haven't, but the artist has. But to keep up that, you've got to play it, and you've got to play it like, and you've got to give it your all, but it's so old. And you've got these new ones. You've already got so many new ones. And maybe with experience, you're improving your songwriting skill, and you're thinking these new ones are better. They're better songs as well. And you really want to play them, right? Or psychologically, can you just bash out those 10-year-old children out of problems?
I mean, no, I mean, we're doing songs that we were doing 10 years ago when I joined. Some of them, there are some new songs in the set. One of the issues is every time we change drummers, we have to train them up. On the old sets, we had to have a core set, and then we start adding new stuff. So with Alex, for example, our new drummer, we've got him trained on the core set, which we're doing the first time on Saturday. Then we've got about a month till we start this tour, and we're discussing which songs from the EP we can stick in the set. Maybe one or two of those in the meantime, and then have new stuff in the set. But I never stop writing songs.
Yeah.
I'm just, every day every other day, every day, sometimes 3 or 4 times a day, I'll have a song in my head, a phrase, somebody will say, something will pop in my head, and I'll just sing it into my phone.
Yeah.
When I get a chance, I'll listen to it, and if I think it will work, I'll demo it. And quite often I'll demo it, and then when I've demoed it, it doesn't work, so that's it. It doesn't go anywhere. But there's the old ones that do work, and I share them with the band. They either like them or don't. Some of the stuff on the EPs, the songs I wrote like 5 years ago during lockdown, or just over 4 years ago in lockdown. And various iterations of the band since then didn't really like them, and then this iteration did, so we've recorded them, stuck them in the set.
Okay.
But I never really get tired. I recorded this and mixed and mastered it, and I got sick of it. I got absolutely sick. It took far longer than I expected. I had some bugs in Logic, the software I'm using, and I was just tearing my hair out. It was just driving me nuts because I get it done, and then like, oh shit, why is that track suddenly gone quiet? I didn't. Okay, start again. Eventually, I got it done. It's not perfect, but it's where it's good enough, kind of thing, and put it out. And I couldn't listen to it for about a month, but I listened to it the other day, and I thought, actually, this is pretty good. Yeah, it's got flaws. The mix isn't perfect, but actually, it's good, and the songs are fairly good. They'll never be. I don't think songs are ever finished either. So we're doing songs.
Yeah.
With one of the songs on the EP actually is an old original Papa Shangos song from probably 15 years ago that it was written, not by me, it's written by Will. We've had it in the set ever since. It's never been out of the set. It's one of the ones where I run around and give fake money to people and engage with the audience. And it's always been this just straight stomp all the way through. It's got a breakdown which goes into like a blues rock stomp, and then it speeds up again and just notes out towards the end, just speeds out again. And then we've just changed it. We just tweaked it a little bit to make it a little bit more interesting for the EP. We've now moved that arrangement into the live set. And the thing about that song is it's a very basic song. It's only like 3 chords.
Yeah.
3 chords and some shouting. But if you're watching it, it's one of the songs people remember because I give them fake money during it.
Yeah.
And the song to me is a conversation with the audience. I'll be in someone's face singing the verse, asking them a question. That's the question. The verse has questions in it and it has answers. And the chorus is an instruction to pay your tax. It's a bit sort of sarcastic. Yeah. Anyway, it's a very, very simple lyric, but it's just, there's so much going on. I never get tired of it because I put so much energy into it. Yeah. God knows what it sounds like on the other side. Middle-aged bloke with no hair running around screaming and throwing like soggy bits of paper at you. Oh, great, thanks.
I mean, I've never been.
For me, it's entertaining.
Never had the privilege to have really, to have a hit or whatever on my hands, but I do know. I'm pretty sure, if I had a Teen Spirit, a Stairway to Heaven, or whatever, I would not be playing. They'd be like, no. I would be that arsehole that would be like, no, we've played it. Like, if you didn't catch it when we wrote it and it went in the set, you've missed it. Now it's like been recorded. It's on the album. It's released as a single. It's on the, if you want to listen to it, there's plenty of opportunity to fucking hear the song, but it wouldn't be in the live set.
I wonder if maybe that's
a
result of
with it.
If it's your job.
Yeah.
So I'd love to do music as a job and get paid for it. But I've often wondered whether if that was the case, I'd burn out.
I know.
I'd lose it.
Yeah. I mean,
Day
that's
to
like,
day, it'd be the routine. I'd just be like, cannot be asked to write any more songs. I do not want to sing this sodding song again. I've been through it a million times, and like I said, there are songs I've done thousands of times over the last 10 years, and I'm still not really tired of them. But
I did sound engineering at uni, and like that completely eroded my love of playing technology completely. Just spending so much time with bands that you don't necessarily have any kind of real love for artistically, and you've got to kind of get into their headspace. It's really hard, I think, actually, to work in a creative industry where it's not, you're not doing what you would necessarily do yourself.
Yeah, you're acting as a technician for
Yeah,
someone else's vision.
basically,
That must be difficult. Yeah, I can imagine that.
yeah, I mean, that's why it's like, that's why I you know, don't monetize this shit, and probably never will. It doesn't matter. I don't care that people tell me that I could. You know, like I've probably had more sort of positivity, support, compliments from talking bollocks. Hopefully, people talk bollocks back at me. It's always better when there's someone, so they go in both ways. So it's not me. It's you. I can only be as good as the guest. You know what I mean? Like so it's not even me. If you have enjoyed it, you know, it's not even. Won't be me you enjoyed. It'll be whoever's down there. But it's like, oh, and you could do this and you could do that, and there's people doing it, and they're making money, and you could have a piece. And I'm like, it sounds like work. I've got a job. It's shit. This is fun. Really, really fun. I've met some interesting people, sweet people, beautiful people. It's almost been like a reaffirming of faith in humanity, because God knows if you look out there, it's the world's fucking on fire. So to start off talking about just like punk rock and shit, and somehow the conversation goes into some deeper, meaningful way, and surprising how people. I mean, I never judge people or whatever. I'm oh, you guys won't, but people, some viewers might not expect at first glance, and what they do, what their art form might be. That then, when they're really into their, you know, meditation and shit like that, and we go off and want to start talking about that stuff, it can be quite unexpected, and I love that shit. But yeah, like the whole monetization process means I don't want to start watching the numbers and crunching the numbers and thinking, yes, that did well, that got a high score, that had lots of views, I need to book more people like that. Or no, I want to book the people I want to book when they're available. Like people, it's like even this, it's like you need to pick a day and a time. You know, your show needs to be on like Thursdays at 7 p.m. every week. If they can't do it, then fuck them. There's plenty of Thursdays left in the, and there's plenty more Thursdays where that one came from. I could just move somebody down the line until they're available. But I'd rather just go, oh, you can do Tuesday. We'll do that then. So I can talk to them now, instead of, oh, we'll do like 17 Thursdays later. It's like, no, if you can do Tuesday, we'll do Tuesday. It's fine. I don't see that as a problem. I'm not that bothered about my brand, you know? And I don't know if I ever really want to be.
Yeah. As long as you're enjoying it and other people enjoy it.
I really enjoyed it. One last thing. What I've worked out over the year of doing this, it always used to peter out so stupidly. Never really run out of things to say, but like, you know. But I found the perfect way to end each and every episode, which is a thing I'm doing this year. And it's that I don't do it. You do.
Right.
All the best leaders delegate, you know? All the greatest generals and leaders, that's what you do. The most successful ones, the ones who can delegate. So I'm handing it over to you guys. What I need from you, and I'm giving you carte blanche on this. You can do one each. You can do it in stereo, or you can harmonize if that's the thing. If you can do that, you can do it comedically. You can do it if you've got a celebrity impersonation you want to throw at me. You can do it erotically. I don't care as long as you do it. The line is this. Till next time, keep it foxy. Out we go.
Yeah, there you go. You'll be toast.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, bring it up, sis.
Oh yeah.
Till the next time, keep it
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Yeah.
It's a commodity that we don't have anywhere near enough of, and yet we're always spending it. So thanks for spending a little bit of it with me. Kids, you're too late. You've missed it now. They're going. But these have been the Papa Shangos. Papa Shangos, one word. Light up those socials. Listen to those songs. It's raw. It's punky. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's mayhem. Get an EP. Go to a live show. Buy a
Bandcamp.
t-shirt. Buy
Yeah.
a physical media, kids.
Buy a
Buy a
butt plug.
CD. And until next time, keep it foxy.
Yeah. See you then. Cheers, mate.